Okay, moving to psychosocial developments, is referring to progressive developments of psychosocial, emotional, and social behavior or socializations. So, in the beginning of this chapter, we talks about the developments of physical, the developments of cognitions, the developments of biology, and now we are moving to psychosocial developments. That means the development in terms of psychology, in terms of emotion and social relationship or social behavior. So during person lifespans, these psychosocial developments happen during person's lifespans as a result of diverse social interactions, because human beings we tend to interact with each other. So our psychosocial also develops. So socializations is how, because social behavior, so socializations is how people progressively learns to adapt and behave socially and in the work context. So this is psychosocial developments, where the development involve psychological and also emotional developments and social behavior developments. So career developments is part of the human developments, because everyone's at some points they will find jobs, they will work. So it is important for everyone's as part of human developments to understand some of the career developments. So career development is intertwined with the general human developments at the latest childhoods, early adulthoods, and later adulthoods. So at the later childhoods, especially at this age, we tend to have some ambitions. For example, we want to become what, for example, we want to be to work as what, for example, when we when we're growing up. So this actually career development start at the latest childhood, and at the early childhood, at this stage we tend to study or to choose course that is related to our interest. So this will develop later, will develop, so we prepare for the individual for their career. And later adulthood is where they are doing the jobs, they are performing the jobs, they are on the jobs, and then they learns and they're about to retire. So the importance influence of later developments and adults behavior, it is important to mention here that our career start actually the preparations for our career normally starts at this age, the later childhoods, where we have the interest from looking at the roles model on TV, or looking at the parents or family we become admired, so we want to work or become like them. So this is actually very important, because according to many of the theories in developments, they mentions that our career actually being prepared, I mean the developments, the interest to become what we want to become actually start at this stage. So this stage is considered as very critical points, critical periods, because this actually is the initial stages of our career development. So critical period is the first 5 years of our developments, that's mean of human developments at this stage. And sensitive stage is referring to the stage where we having greater susceptibility to the possible influence. For example, at this stage we maybe have some greater event that affect our life. For example, change in school, parental divorce, accident, and so on. This actually, if this thing happens at some point at this age, it's considered sensitive period that will determines whether we will continue with becoming what we want to become. So this kind of preparing us, this preparing us to our career developments when we are growing up. So critical periods is very important, sensitive periods also very important, that determines our career developments. Optimal period is the experience when maturations and learning are responsible for the successful developments. This period is actually a more official, where we start to take the course that relate to our career, or the course that in line with our career. That's the optimal periods where we experience the maturations in terms of physical and mental, and also the learning itself. Here, the learning itself responsible for us for the successful developments of our career later on when we are looking for jobs. So when we talk about career development or career developments, it is important to learn. There's a theme called career self-efficacy, where when we talk about self-efficacy, it's related to the self-belief in their ability to do something. So self-efficacy is a self-confidence or self-belief in their ability to do something. So career self-efficacy is referring to the people belief in their abilities, and they're having a sense of control and expectations of being successful in specific career related tasks. So those who have high self-efficacy will tend to be more confident when tend to believe in their ability that they can do. See here, they believe in their can do abilities and can do they have that can do attitudes. They are more optimistic about what they want to become. But low self-efficacy, they always find excuses. They always didn't believe in their ability. They always find excuses. They always think about weaknesses, about the problems. But high self-efficacy always think about the goodness or the positive side. So career self-efficacy actually are important because this will determine whether we'll be successful or not in our career. So life and career stages and tasks. So when we talk about career and life stages, according to textbook, there are 5 stages. The early years, that means the first 5 years. Early work life, that's we start early work life. Normally after secondary school, we start to have some jobs. Maybe while waiting for SPM result, we are looking for a job. So that's considered early work life, occupational choice and preparations. Young adulthood, this after we graduate, we start to look for a job. So this is kind of fresh graduates looking for a job entry, and then they try to after they be in the jobs for a while, they establish their career. And then middle adulthood, because they are in the job for some times, so they become they understand the career and then what's need to be done and their responsibilities. So this called consolidations, maintenance and change. So they are maintains their career, they looking for a change as well at the same time. So late adulthood, where they come to the retirement age, there will be some disengagements between the work and life. So this late adulthood, disengagement and retirement, when they come to the age at the retirements, and then after that they retire. So these are actually combinations of our life and also career stages, life and tasks. So the first we start with the first stage, the early year stage, the first 5 years of our life. That's mean from age 1 to age 5. We actually it depends. Sometimes the parents will prepare for the children's what they want to become, or what the parents want the children to become when they grow up. So these early developments in terms of physical, linguistic, cognitive, social skill are very important. This may reflect in later years when they start working. So this actually children at the age of 1 to 5, if they have healthy attachment behavior with their parents, that's mean in terms of quality of attachments, this actually will influence future relationship with their peers, romance, or relationship, love relationship, and working relationship. So according to the study, the first 5 years of our life, for example, from our age 1 to 5, if we have healthy attachments with our parents, this will transform into healthy attachment later when we work. That means into a better quality relationship later when we work. So it is important for the for the parents to develop their children from age 1 to 5 in terms of their physical developments in terms of linguistic, how they speak, the way they speak, the language that they use, and cognitive and social skill, how to solve the problem. Because children at this age, sometimes they play with the toys, they act to represent the world. Actually, prepare them to become a better workers or better individual later when they come to the age of working. So healthy attachment with the parents are actually very important, because healthy attachments develops healthy individual, healthy children. When healthy children in terms of emotions, in terms of cognitions, in terms of moral, this actually will transform into behavior later, or from that point when they grow up with that kind of behavior until the age of when they die. So healthy attachment is very important, because this is the critical periods. If the children are not exposed to the healthy attachments or the quality of attachments, later the children will become negative, involved in negative activities or negative behavior. So there are various types of secure and insecure attachments. So what is at this stage, there will be some healthy attachments and unhealthy attachments. So it is important for the parents, especially to develop, to make sure that their children develop to have healthy attachment with the parents first, so that this actually will transform into their behavior later. So this is the early developments. They need to have goods in the physical, linguistic, cognitive, and social skill. Healthy attachments, it is very important at the age of 1 to 5. They have good healthy attachment with the family, with the parents, will transform later. They will also have healthy attachments with the peers, with the relationships, with work. If at the beginning, at the age 1 to 5, you didn't have a healthy attachment with the parents, they tend to have problem in terms of interactions or relationship with peers, in terms of relationship with regarding love, and also work relationship. So they will have toxic relationships if the attachment with the parents are not healthy. So there are different kind of attachments. Children develops a personality based on the attachments with the parents. If it is healthy, then it is good, because later it will transform into fully functioning individuals. But if it is unhealthy and insecure attachments, children will develop negative personality. So unhealthy attachments can be avoided in children, where there has been experiment done by some psychologists. They found out that unhealthy attachment can be avoided, can be regarded as avoided in children, where if they do experiments, they first they have mother and the child, and if the mother leave, the child will not cry. So if the child will not cry when the mother leave, if the child avoid the mother when the mother returns, that child considered avoidant child. If the child after the mother leave, the child display anxiety before the mother separates, leave the child. The child display anxiety. They upset when the mother leaves, and they kick and hit the mother after the mother come back. So this is showing ambivalent reactions. That means the child display anxiety. So this is very common among children. They do not want to separate from their parents. So when they know that their parents want to leave them, they display anxiety, they display the emotion, they cry, and then when the mothers come back, they try to hit, they try to kick. So if they try to kick and hit, this considered as these children is considered ambivalence. But normally when the parents leave, the children perhaps cry, but when the mothers come back, the children just go and hug. So it's healthy in the children's. The disorganized one is when the mother leaves, the children show inconsistent or contradictory behavior. So disorganized, so we can say that this is 3 level of unhealthy children's. This is very important, because later they will develop into unhealthy individual.